Up next, you will have my personal certified auto diesel mechanic. He's going to educate you on how to properly maintain your truck and different things to look for when you're purchasing the truck.
Christopher Booker with Kingdom Auto and Diesel Repair, LLC. I do automotive and diesel repair. I do everything from inspecting the vehicle to diagnosing the vehicle to doing the actual repairs on the vehicle. One of the things that I would do if you're looking to purchase a semi-tractor and you may not have an extensive knowledge on what to look for, first thing I would look at is mileage. That's one of the things I would look at. Secondly, I would talk to the owner of the vehicle that's actually selling the vehicle. Ask them whatever questions you can. And as far as the mechanical side of it, you know, at first question you want to ask, why is he getting rid of the vehicle? You know, because it could be hidden factors in that. Ask him about the engine, any work that he's had done on the engine. Ask him about any work that he's had done on the transmission side of it, which to me personally would be two of your most biggest expenses if you bought this vehicle and something went wrong with it. An engine, that's very expensive repair. Transmission, another expensive repair. You want to look at, also you want to do a visual inspection of the vehicle. Look on around the engine, look for oil leaks, listen for air leaks and stuff of that nature. Go up under the vehicle, check around the transmission, underneath the engine and all of that. Any oil leaks coming from the oil pan, maybe rear main seal, which is sits between the backside of the block, the engine block itself, and between the transmission. It have oil leaks down there. A lot of times that could be a rear main seal. You want to look at the clutch, see if the clutch rusted, look like it may have been heated up or burnt up or something like that. That could be another expensive fix as well. Some of the main thing is just making sure you do the initial maintenance. You know, have an oil change, stuff like that, have a service done to it, air filter belts and stuff like that checked. Because the vehicle can also understand a lot of the things that go wrong with some of these vehicles could be normal wear and tear. It may not just be negligence on the owner's part or what have you. Depending on the age of the vehicle, you got belts, they dry rot, they crack. Radiators, they dry rot, they crack. Over time, that heating and cooling, it takes a toll on that the equipment sitting up under that hood. So it's different things of that nature that you have to look for, man. It's not always just negligence on the actual owner part. Some of it is just normal wear and tear. Some of the things you want to look for in a mechanic are to see if he's knowledgeable. Because most mechanics, when they get to talking about whether it's automotive or whether it's diesel, you know, they're not going to just give you a general conversation, but they will get specific. And once they get specific, a lot of the times it lets you know that, okay, he may know what he's talking about, you know. So you go ahead and continue to ask questions. No question is a dumb question. If you don't know, ask him, you know, and see if he can give you an answer to clarify and give you complete understanding of the question that you have at hand. One of the first things I do is start at the front of the vehicle. Pop the hood on the truck. I carry an inspection light so I can get up in there and get close. The belt, this is the actual fan belt. This one have a two belts. Two belts. This is your actual fan belt, and up there is your AC and your alternator belt on the other side over there. And you just check the ribs on them, look, see if they cracked or if the belt have a lot of wear and tear, age on it, it'll start splitting or what have you. And if that's the case, you want to get that replaced. The one thing that I like about on this truck is fairly pretty clean. I love the Cummins engines. This is the actual air compressor. This is what builds up the air for the entire vehicle. This is power steering pump. It looked like it done been replaced as well. So right now, this young lady that owns this vehicle seemed like, you know, getting it in a pretty decent condition, where the person that she actually purchased it from has already put money into the vehicle. So one of the things you want to check for also, I check the brake lining on the vehicles, because that's, you know, that could be an issue as well, because you want to be able to stop this vehicle when you're riding down the road. So that's another thing I check. I check the tires. to see how the tires look, the tread depth on the tire. Now this right here look like this tire haven't been on here long. So it looks pretty good. And it's a name brand tire. That's another thing I look for, especially on this steer. This is very important. If one of these jokers here blow out, you lose all control of this vehicle. Ain't nothing you can do at 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. So, and another thing, I come over here, I check the block, see if it, major oil leaks and stuff like that. This is the actual block right here, the engine, which is this, I call it the block, but it's the engine with a whole bunch of other stuff on it, which is your ECM, fuel pump, and all of that stuff on this piece right here. And actually, they've got a new, they done replaced the fuel pump on here as well. So she's getting this truck ahead. And this is actually a vehicle that I've already inspected and checked out for this young lady. It actually has another transmission in it. It has a new clutch in it. Right now, I'm doing the air tank swap on it because the air tank actually sits on two metal braces. And oftentimes they work their way loose and it done rubbed a hole in it, causing a major air leak. So we got to replace it. Checking the oil. Okay, on this one right here, let me put my flashlight up, my inspection light. This is the oil dipstick. This is the oil dipstick on this Cummins here. This is the oil filler where you put the pour the oil into the engine right here. And so you pull this right here, check the oil level. She actually just had this truck serviced, so the oil on it is pretty good. So little low, she could add a little bit to it. I believe in bringing it up to the field line, but other than that, it's good. Over here, one of her concerns, her concern was she had a rear main seal, which I went under checked it, and it's not a rear main seal. She got a oil leak on the side of the engine right here that actually runs down the back side of the block along where the transmission butt up against the engine itself. And it looks like, because the oil is settling at the bottom, it looks like she may have a rear main seal, but she don't. That's why I noticed the fact that it has a new transmission because it has a new bell housing on it, and it also has a new clutch installed on this vehicle as well. So we're going to clean up the oil leak on the side of the engine and monitor it going forward. And you definitely want to check your coolant level. Right now is at the add mark. She needs to bring it up to the cold max. It needs probably a little less than a half a gallon of coolant. I always believe in checking all of the fluids and making sure you top all the fluids off. Check your hoses and all of that stuff. I mean, making sure, like this one right here, sitting up against this intake pipe, you want to make sure it's not it hasn't rubbed or chafed and got a hole or anything in it. That can cause an issue with your power or whatever, and also can cause a coolant leak because this is your overflow coming off your coolant reservoir. Check your radiator. The radiator don't look too bad. It sits up inside that shroud there, so everything looks good. But for the most part, this truck checks out pretty good. On the air leaks, you will want to start the vehicle and allow the vehicle to build up air pressure to about 120, 25 PSIs, which is normally maybe a little higher than that as far as normal operating range for the air system. And then you turn the vehicle off and just, do a visual inspection. And if it's an air leak, you're going to hear it. Like initially when I came, she said she had an air leak. I started over there at the firewall, which was on the driver's side where you got a whole bunch of air lines running into this manifold. It was leaking there. I pulled on the lines, cleaned them up. Sometimes they'll get pushed in and they don't tighten up. So I was able to fix that air leak off the rip. But I could hear another air leak in the background, and that led me to come over here to the passenger side of the vehicle and crawl up under the vehicle. And this brings us to this point right here, to where I'm at now, doing a swap on this air tank. This is the old air tank, that's the new one. And basically this air tank here runs on two metal braces. And actually you can see the hole in the tank right here. It has a hole in the tank right there. And a lot of the times with these tanks, you have to drain the water on them because they'll build up water inside of them. And a lot of the times also, not only is it riding on on two metal braces that it'll rub a hole through it, but it'll rust from the inside out. And that's one of the reasons why you want to make sure you drain this tank. Now, when I unplug this tank, it probably drained about a gallon of water out of it. But this is where the it done rusted through right here. It's rusted through. And when I built up the air pressure, you can literally hear the air pouring out of this tank. And I was able to go up under there. To always, you want to verify, even though if you hear it, you want to verify. But I was able to go under there, rub my hand across it, and it'll quiet up. And that lets me know that the air tank had a hole in it. And also, I have previous experience with this as well. So, because I've replaced several of these on these actual vehicles, 05s, 06, 07 models, internationals, 9400Is. These are your pulling tires. This is what they use. This is your front drive axle. That's your rear drive axle. These are your pulling tires back here. As you can see, you got a whole lot more rubber on here. This is your four-wheel drive on a pickup truck. So this is what does your pulling back here. And that just do it. The front two tires do your steering. I checked the brake lining on these as well because, and as you can see now, you got 4 brand new tires across this front drive axle. And I want to say they sell, son. They sell, but I mean, they still good tires. Check the brake lining, got good brake lining, because once again, you want to be able to stop this vehicle, especially when you got a 53-foot trailer behind it and it probably got 40-something thousand pounds on it, you know? So you definitely want to make sure you're able to stop. So anytime you're dealing with a mechanic and what you're looking for in a mechanic, not only not for him to just be able to talk about the vehicle, but to also be able to bring you and point stuff out to you. Things to look for, things that could possibly be a hazard down the road, stuff that, you know, what's important, what may need immediate attention, or what may be, okay, you can do it a couple of months down the road, you got this amount of time or what have you. Because everything don't necessarily have to be done right away. This is, again, this you need. The green line right here is your electrical line. This is what powers up your lights from your truck to your trailer and allow people to be able to see you during the daytime or night. This here, your red line is your emergency line. The blue is your service line. That's your braking power. That's your air supply from the truck to the trailer to send, so you'll have brakes on both, not only on the tractor, but also on the trailer that you're pulling. So that's what supplies the air, your stopping power to that trailer. In which all of these actually have, basically this is a air system stop. It's not hydraulic like your vehicles. This is actually air powered brakes on here. Each wheel end has its individual brake chamber, okay, which ties to the slack adjuster. This is your brake chamber here. This is your brake chamber. Okay. This is your slack adjuster here. This piece that the slack adjuster rides on is what they call the S-cam, which have brake shoes that rides on it on the wheel end, which is when this right here, the air supply is coming to this one. It engages the slack adjuster, which turns the camshaft, which applies the brakes to the drum itself and allows you to be able to stop. This is your air relay valve and your quick release valve. Helps with the releasing and the applying of the brakes on the vehicle. Like I said, the main thing is anything that's, you know, could possibly cause a major issue. One of the most important things is making sure this joker will stop. So making sure your brakes is good. Making sure that when you shift gears, you be able to go in and out of gears with no problem. So that would be your transmission and your clutch, and to make sure the vehicle runs good and coolant and all of that stuff is good. So that's your horsepower up there, which is the engine part up there. So, because those could be very expensive fixes, and not being able to stop this vehicle can be very detrimental. So going into it, you want to go into this thing with as much knowledge and understanding as you can, so that out the gate you don't end up with major repairs trying to get this vehicle to running before you even make any money.